Hi, my name is Ruth, and I am very happy to talk about homeschooling because I'm a homeschool graduate. I graduated in Washington State in 1992. My husband was a homeschool kid. He's now an elementary music teacher at a charter school. One of our daughters is a homeschool graduate, and our other two daughters are in high school, and they are also homeschoolers. So, obviously, it is an educational choice that we believe in. It is something that we feel really prepared us really well for life, and we feel very blessed to be able to have our daughters home with us, homeschooling. When I was a kid, if I mentioned that I was a homeschooler, everyone's first question was, what about socialization? And I always laughed because I had lots of friends. I had friends in my neighborhood, friends at church, friends at a homeschool co op. I knew lots of people, and they were all different ages. And I really feel like not being surrounded by a classroom of kids super close to my age all day was a really good preparation for life because it just really freed me up to interact with lots of people, lots of different ages, and just it was an excellent foundation for life. Interestingly, now, a generation later, if I mention that I'm a homeschooler, homeschool mom, I don't get that question. People have moved on. And instead of a question now, I usually get a comment. And the comment is, oh, I couldn't do that. Or I don't have the patience. And the patience comment cracks me up because, life in general requires patience. Parenting requires patience. Grocery shopping requires patience. And if you're an adult, if you are a nice person at all, as you go about your daily life, things come to you that you have to deal with, and patience gradually grows within you. It's part of being an adult and definitely part of being a parent. And so I've never felt like homeschooling required any extra patience. In fact, I think it requires less because I get to schedule when I want to help my children with their educational endeavors. And I get to do that in the morning with coffee. I would fail at the after dinner homework. I would not have patience at that time of day. So, homeschooling has really been a good fit for us. Um, I don't think it requires any extra patience. There are so many resources, so many helps out there. For goodness sakes, you can Google things now, which our parents couldn't do when they were homeschooling. So that's always an interesting comment. And it's also fascinating to me that within one generation, we went from everyone looking at this homeschooling thing as weird and where were those kids going to find friends to, oh, I couldn't do that, which tells me that many parents have actually thought about it. And so we've come a long ways in a generation. One question I do get asked a lot is, why don't you use the online public school option? Well, because I want to homeschool. And if you read the fine print, at least in Nevada, if you are using the online options, according to the state, you're not a homeschooler. And I have found, listening to the comments of other families who have used those programs, that they miss out on so many of the basic benefits of homeschooling. Choosing your own curriculum, especially some of us like a curriculum that reflects our faith. We want our children to hear things from a faith based perspective. And if you use the online public school option, you don't get to pick. I like setting my own schedule. Maybe I don't want to start school the same week as everybody else. Maybe I want to take another week off after Christmas. These are some of the basic, best things about homeschooling. And from what I've heard from those who have used those online public school options, they miss those. And I'm really sad that some people have only experienced that very scheduled, regimented kind of school at home and have said, oh, I don't like this, I couldn't homeschool. Well, there are 100 other ways to homeschool. And so, look at your other options before you decide this isn't for you. And for those of you who have had your kids home during this pandemic thing, I'm so sorry you got thrown into that. That is very different from the relaxed schedule of homeschooling. You're really missing out on some of the basic benefits of homeschooling, and I'm sorry that you have experienced it in this way. That must have been really difficult. One question that I've been asked, perhaps only once, but it stuck in my head because it took me a couple days to really think about it and answer it for myself. Someone said, is that fun? Is that fun to teach your kids? And I hadn't really asked myself that question. To me, homeschooling was just part of parenting, something I always planned on doing. And, like teaching your kids to eat with a fork. It's one of those things you do. Is it fun? Well, many times, no. I mean, I'd rather be reading a book. I'd rather be sitting outside with my feet up. I wouldn't say that actually teaching children to read is something that I find fun. But you know what is fun? What is fun is not having to leave the house at 8 o'clock every morning. What is fun is not needing to find matching socks for the children every single day. What is fun is not doing school after dinner. What is fun is taking an extra week off after Easter. What is fun is running outside every time it rains, because in the desert, it's kind of like when it snows anywhere else. It's this rare thing, and it's wonderful and refreshing. And being able to drop the school books and just run outside and love it. In so many ways, homeschooling just freed us up to have fun. And so in that way, yeah, it's fun. The lifestyle that it allows us to have, the relaxed entry into the morning, instead of, oh, you must get out the door at this time every day, just to relax and not be rushed. And one thing I always did when we started school in the fall is I would start out that first week only doing one or two subjects, and get through those subjects in less than an hour, and then say, your school day is done, you are free. And you know what, there's a whole lot of other kids who are still at school for another 6 hours, but you're free, you're done. And just being able to kind of tiptoe into school that way every year, that was fun. So yeah, I'd say it's fun. Oh, here's a good question. Several times I've been asked, how do you know what to buy in each grade? And I said, well, when they're in third grade, you buy books with a 3 on them. Is it that simple? Yeah, pretty much. And most homeschool curriculums will have something like a placement test on their website, so you can very easily look through it and say, yeah, we did that last year, but we haven't done this, and you can figure out where your kids are, even if they don't fit squarely into one specific grade in all their subjects. So yeah, it really is that easy. Which curriculum do I use? Well, I've used a lot of different things, and let me say, in kindergarten, I wish I hadn't wasted my money on a curriculum at all. tried so many little things, just trying to get different things to click. And honestly, my children learned how to read from watching PBS and playing on Starfall. That was an educational website that was really popular when they were little. Now it seems kind of outdated, but at the time they thought it was awesome. So as far as curriculum goes for now, for high school, and I wish I had used it in junior high too, we're using My Father's World for most of our subjects. We're supplementing a few things from a company called Seven Sisters. They have some awesome little ebooks about like how to write a research paper step by step by step, how to write an essay step by step. And that's a cool company because you can pick and choose. Just you can see, oh, my kids are having trouble with writing an essay, and you can spend very little and just help them out with that one skill. So that's been a cool thing. Um, if I could give you one word, especially if you're just starting out homeschooling, I would say relax. Relax. Skip a few little things here and there. Enjoy being home. Um, you will change curriculum several times, and that's a good thing because homeschooling means you are not stuck with somebody else's choice of curriculum. I have a theory that homeschool parents begin by buying the curriculum that would have worked for them when they were kids. And then once they get a few months into it, they realize that their own children are quite different from them and they need something else. And so don't even try to get the perfect curriculum right off because you will need to reshape things. As far as curriculum goes, try to get your testimonials from unbiased reviewers. Um, the website I always used to use it no longer exists, so I don't have a good one to recommend right now. But when you read curriculum catalogs, oh my word, they are filled with testimonials from these families who have kids who like jump up and down when the curriculum comes, and they dive in and read ahead 2 months in one night. Oh my goodness. I have never met these children. I think they only exist within the pages of curriculum manufacturers' catalogs. Um, my kids didn't always want to jump into doing school every day. Okay, rarely, because school is work. School takes energy, and there are a lot of other things we'd rather do, like run around outside or paint or whatever. School is work, and not everyone gets up in the morning and says, I want to work. So don't get depressed when you read those testimonials and you think, good heavens, my children have never jumped up and down when a box of books came. Don't worry about it. You'll get through it. Let them do their work under the table. Let them lie on the couch with their feet on the pillows. Enjoy the fact that you are home. Let them be comfortable. Don't let the curriculum boss you around. If you've seen I think it's the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, it has this wonderful line about how the pirate code, well, that's just guidelines, really. And I've always tried to think about that when it came to the curriculum, telling you what to do on what day. This year we got really, I don't know why I never thought of this before, but we just made it work for us, and we started our weeks on Wednesday instead of Monday, and just the way we happen to do things, that works for us. But if the curriculum says you should read Pride and Prejudice, but you'd rather read Sense and Sensibility, mix it up. Make it work for you. This is one of the benefits of being home, is that you can personalize things. So relax and enjoy your kids. Maybe they're really interested in learning how to bake a pie. Do that. That's educational. Um, and I'll just brag on my kids here for a moment. I was so proud of them. A year ago, my two older ones, they were not quite 18 and not quite 15. They were asked to house sit for a friend, and this friend lives less than a mile away, so they were, near enough to us that we could go help out if they needed it. But they were there for a week and they never called to ask for help at all. They made their own shopping list, they did their own shopping, they did their own cooking, they did their own cleaning, they took care of a dog, and they never asked me for help at all. And I just felt like, wow, we passed some kind of a quiz. They could do life on their own, and I found that that was very exciting. So anyway, this has been an educational method that has worked really well for us, and it's not for everybody, but it can really work. Thanks for listening.